A 2025 study cited 78% of teachers have thought about quitting at some point. You can shift and love your job again. I can show you how. If you're a public school teacher right now, there's a good chance that you're exhausted. The job has become heavier every year. More paperwork, more meetings, more student behavior. If you're a teacher wondering if there's another way to do this job, you're in the right place. 8 years ago, I stepped into online teaching and it completely changed my life. Today, I want to show you how teaching online gave me something I didn't even realize I needed: freedom. I also found an amazing tool that I will share with you in just a few minutes. Before teaching online, I taught in public schools in Idaho and in Maine. I loved my students. The workload kept growing. The behavior from students began to grow as well. And slowly, the joy of teaching became buried under everything else. But one horrible incident actually gave me the courage to say, enough is enough. And I began to look for a way out. What was this incident? Getting punched by a fourth grader. I was in shock, but that wasn't the worst part. The worst part is there was very little repercussions for this student. I felt betrayed by a system that actually rewards students for acting out. Fast forward several months, where I found the perfect fit for my creativity and technology know-how: online teaching. I stepped into this new world and everything changed. One of the biggest things teaching gave me was less noise in my workday, less hallway chaos, less constant interruptions, less unnecessary meetings. Instead, my time became focused on the two things that matter most: teaching students and preparing meaningful lessons. It was a return to the heart of why I became a teacher in the first place. Teaching online has brought me such less stress. I can't even tell you how much less. My day became calmer and more intentional. Instead of rushing from task to task, I could focus on the students right in front of me. And because I teach from home, the energy I used to spend commuting, managing my classroom, navigating school systems, now goes into what actually matters: helping kids learn. Another surprising gift was less workload clutter. When you simplify your teaching environment, you start to see what actually matters. And that kind of minimalism in your work life can be incredibly freeing. One very important tool was a game changer. This tool turned my presentations into a lively online classroom where students could interact with my instruction and not just passively watch me lecture. More on that shortly. Here's the beautiful part. When you remove what doesn't matter, you make room for what does. More connection with students, more creativity in lessons, more margin in your day. For me, it also meant more time for my family, my friends, more space to write, more Bible study, more options for travel, and more room to live intentionally. Did I mention that I get to travel and still teach? If you're a public school teacher overwhelmed right now, I want you to know something. There are other paths in education. Teaching online may not be the right fit for everyone, but for many teachers, it could bring a level of freedom and balance that traditional systems simply don't allow. About my amazing tool, Adobe Connect, is amazing for elementary and secondary education. Let's take a sneak peek at my classroom. If you're curious about teaching online, I'll be sharing more about how it works, how teachers transition, and what the experience is really like. Thanks for being here. And if teaching has been feeling heavy lately, maybe the path forward isn't doing more. Maybe it's discovering the freedom that comes with less.